Hello everyone, myself Dr. Chitra Desai welcomes you to the second video on NumPy arrays. In the first video, we saw basic creation of NumPy arrays, maybe using random function through list of list and so on. Also, we saw very basic commands like shape command to understand the rows and columns into a particular array, ndip command to understand how the dimensions of the array can be known. Also, commands like dtype, commands like asshape were used to demonstrate how these functions used. Now, when we look at these basic functions, they sound very simple at the first go, but when it comes at analyzing very large data set, these basic functions will be the first hand functions which can be used to get a better insight into the data. Now, moving further, we will see how array slicing is done. The purpose of array slicing, looked at a broader sense, can be used for having a slice of a very large array in which we are interested in for operating onto it certain functions. Now, in this case, we will be working on a very small data set, basically to first understand that how array slicing works. In this case, initially, using a range command, we will create an array A of the type numpy. Now, for that, we use the command A is equal to np.arange of 10. Now, because we are given a range of 10, we'll find that we have created an array which has by default created a values ranging from 0 to 9. So, because it was a range of 10, 10 values have been created, but it started from 0 to 9. Now, whenever it comes to an array into a numpy, the indexing basically starts with 0. So, when you write like a of 5, so 5 is the subscript associated with a, and you will find that starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is the sixth element over here, is represented by index 5. This 5 is value and this 5 is the index, and so it presents the value 5 over here. Also, when we want to print the slice of an array, we can make use of command like suppose a of 5 colon 8. Now 8, if we say is n, then always we will see that the values that are displayed will be up to n minus 1 elements. So if it is the fifth index, so elements from the fifth index to n minus 1 index will be printed. If you look at this negative indexing, you will find that a minus 1, which is a negative index, will print the last element of the array, that is 9. Similarly, if you give colon minus 1, then except the last element, it will print all the elements into the array. Similarly, if you give some command like a 0 colon, it will print all the elements into the array. And if you give the command a colon 0, it will print only the empty array. So no elements in the array are being printed over here. Now we will see some more operations onto the slices of the array. Suppose we have taken a slice of the array that is A and written as A colon 8 equal to 12. Now when we write A colon 8 equal to 12, that means elements at location or index, most precise to say, elements at index 5, 6 and 7 will be changed from its original value, that is 5, 6, 7, all to 12, 12, 12. So when you print the array A, you will find that the elements at this location have been changed to the value 12. Now we will see another concept that is called as mutation. In this case, first of all, what we will do, we will extract the slice of the array A, the same slice A of 5 colon 8 into a new array that is A slice. Now when you take this A slice, you'll find that in this we have all the values 12, 12, 12, because initially with this command we had converted all the elements from 5 colon 8 to 12, 12, 12. Now suppose if I take a slice of 1, that is second 0, 1, the second element of the array or element at index 1 of a slice, I am assigning a value 222. Now when you print this a slice, you will find that the value has been converted to 222 over here, that is index 0 is 12, 1 is 222 and the index 2 is 12 as it is. Now when you go back to array A, you'll find that the value 12 has been changed to 222. Now what has happened in this case? We had created the slice A slice from the array A. we made change to the slice, but the change is reflected into the original array also. That is, change made to a slice has been reflected to array A also. This is called as mutation. Okay. So next we will move on to creating a multi-dimensional array, say A1 and A2, and will perform certain basic operations onto those. Now in this A1 array, I'll create a simple array which is a list of lists being passed to create a 3 by 3 array. So in this we have A1 array, and if you look at the shape of the array, it is 3, 3. Similarly, I'll create another simple array with all integer elements into it, that is B1, using NumPy array, and that B1 has been created. Now, if we perform certain operations on this array, they are very simple. Like if we write a program to add these two arrays A1 and B1, the two arrays will be added. Similarly, if I perform operation A1 into B1, simply it will also multiply A1 to B1. But if you look at the result that is obtained from multiplying A1 and B1, you will find that the values of A1 and B1 which have been operated over here, or which have been processed over here, are simply multiplication of B1 values, multiplication of this A1 to A1, B1 to B1, and so on. So actually you don't see actual matrix multiplication being performed over here, but one-to-one element multiplication has been performed over here. Now let us focus that why this has happened. If you look at the type of the array, now to look at the type of a particular data structure in Python, we make use of type command. So using type command, if I look at the type of array, we find that A1 is numpy.nd array. Now this numpy.nd array, when they were multiplied to each other, it took element to element wise multiplication. That means now it is required that if I actually want to perform matrix multiplication, then in that case, this arrays have to be represented as matrix element. So what we do now, we'll keep aside A1 and A2, A1 and B1 as of now aside, which are numpy arrays, and now we will create two more arrays. Now better to say two more matrices, that is A2 and B2, using np.matrix. Earlier we used the command np.array, now we are using A2 is equal to np.matrix. So when you write A2 is equal to np.matrix, similarly we'll be passing the list of list over here. We get the matrix A2, and when you check at this particular resultant of type of A2, you find that it is numpy.matrix. So here in this case, when you look at A1, it was numpy.nd array, and here A2 is numpy.matrix. Now, again, we will create another element, that is the B2 element, B2 matrix, and we will create it using np.matrix. Now, when you multiply C2, when you multiply A2 to B2 and store it into C2, you'll find that actually we have printed a matrix multiplication, or we have what the resultant of a matrix multiplication. This is our A1, this is our this is our A2, this is our B2, and we have obtained the C2 as a matrix multiplication result over here. Further moving on, because our topic is matrix multiplication, our topic is array slicing. Because we have dealt with the matrices also here, we will also look forward that once we have matrix with us and we want to look into the slices of the matrix, how they are being created. In that case, we have to understand certain use of brackets and the indices that are mentioned into it, so that we rightly access the data of our interest. So in this case, suppose if you want to print only first row of the array C2. Now the first row of array C2 is 24, 17, 17. So we write it as C2 in two separate square brackets. We mention 0, 0. So it will print the first row for us. Similarly, if I want to print the second row, I can write 1, 0 in two separate brackets. And if I want to print the third row, I can write 2, 0 into two separate brackets.